Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, therefore I apologise in advance if I stumble over my words going forwards, and indeed if the quality of this video is fairly poor as well, if there's any lag, anything like that at all. Sadly it cannot be helped, and hopefully it is not too much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision related video here on my channel, and another instalment in my Look Back series. Now this series, for those of you that are unfamiliar, started a long time ago here on this channel, and I began with the 2003 competition in Riga, the first contest that I remember watching as a 10-year-old, and then I just moved forwards in time, talking about each contest in a reasonable amount of depth. So I've covered 2003 to 2021. However, recently I decided to go even further back in time, and I have filmed videos talking about the 2002 and 2001 contests, and you can check them out on this channel if you so wish. So today I'm going even further back in time and taking a look at the first contest of the 21st century, the Stockholm 2000 edition. Now I have some information in front of me just to make sure I don't forget anything too important. Firstly though, this is the official CD. You can buy this online second-hand. I don't think there are any brand new copies around anymore. I'd be very, very surprised. This was the first Eurovision Song Contest in which there was an official CD release. There was a CD for 1999 when the competition was in Jerusalem in Israel, but it wasn't an official release. It was made in Israel. Some of the songs from the contest were missing on it. I actually have that CD. I acquired it earlier this year. But yeah, the first official CD release was in 2000. So this has all the songs on it, not in the running order or in alphabetical order, but yes, it has this blue cover with the stars on it, the lips logo that we had, and I know it's back to front on camera, but it does say Eurovision Song Contest Stockholm 2000. The CD also blue with the stars on it, and then there is a booklet which I'll briefly show, and it's just the songs and the songwriters. Nothing fancy going on at all. So yeah, that's the CD. I bought this one earlier this year online for quite a reasonable price. I don't think it cost me more than £10 maybe, somewhere in that region. I'm very, very happy to own this. It's in a very good condition. It works fine. Great stuff. Now then, the 2000 contest. I was very young. I had no concept of Eurovision at all at this point. But obviously I have listened to the songs and watched the contest since. And it's all online. The whole contest has been uploaded to various YouTube channels. And who knows, maybe it will be part of the Eurovision Again series that they're doing online too. Maybe it already has. I have no idea. I haven't been keeping up with it. Anyway, the Eurovision Song Contest 2000 was the 45th Eurovision Song Contest, and it took place in Stockholm, the capital city of Sweden, because of course Sweden won the year before in Jerusalem with the pop song Take Me to Your Heaven by Charlotte Perrelli, who is now known as Charlotte Perrelli. She was Charlotte Nilsson back in 1999, of course. This was the fourth contest to be staged in Sweden. They had previously hosted in 1975, 1985 and 1992. That was in Stockholm, Gothenburg and Malmö. The EBU hosted it alongside SVT. The Globe Arena was the venue which would later be used for the 2016 contest as well. This golf ball shaped venue in southern Stockholm. It looks relatively small in photographs, I would say, but on the inside it is massive. And the show was broadcast on Saturday the 13th of May. Of course, it would be a few more years before the semi-final format was introduced. The hosts were Kattis Ahlström and Anders Lundin. Now, Kattis Ahlström, who is now 55, she's a journalist. Anders Lundin is a television host, comedian and lyricist, and he's 62. So there you go. Fantastic. And I believe they've also hosted Melodifestivalen, the selection show for Eurovision in Sweden, separately in the past. 24 nations took part. Latvia for the first time. What a great entry that was. Finland, Macedonia, Romania, Russia and Switzerland all returned. Bosnia, Lithuania, Poland, Portugal and Slovenia did not take part. This was because of the relegation system that was in place at the time. The winner was Denmark. More on them in a moment. That was their second win. And the contest was broadcast on the internet for the first time in 2000 as well, when the internet was certainly nothing like what it is now. In terms of the logo, it was a pair of black lips, very sensual. It says here that the graphic design program was developed by the Stockholm Design Lab and centered around a stylized mouth logo. It was given the Excellent Swedish Design Award later that year. It was described by its designers as a sensual yet stylistically pure mouth representing song, dialogue and speech. There was no slogan for the competition. That would come a couple of years later. It was also, according to this, one of the possible choices for the generic logo introduced at the 2004 contest in Istanbul. So instead of the flag in the heart, we could have had a pair of lips every year instead. I think the logo of the heart with the flag, the much better option. Anyway, no point really talking about the interval, although it was called Once Upon a Time Europe Was Covered with Ice, and blah, blah, blah. The postcards focused on areas of Stockholm. So, for example, the UK's was the Rosunda Stadium, which was the former football ground that played host to Sweden's international matches. Iceland had a forest outside Stockholm. Austria had the airport. Sweden's, however, was filmed in Hanover, Germany for Expo 2000. Fair enough, workers watching the 45th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, apparently. Anyway, it's been a long time since I listened to these songs, so do forgive me if I slip up in some areas. We had a bunch of returning artists, some of them backing musicians as well. Let's get to it. Song 1, the first song in the Eurovision Song Contest this century, oh dearie me. It was Israel, Ping Pong, with Sameach, or Be Happy, performed in Hebrew. Remarkably, this did not finish last. 22nd place, 7 points. A high mark of 6 from France. Now, it's worth saying that televoting was still in its infancy in the year 2000. Most countries used a public vote. Some used a jury vote. For example, the Netherlands, Romania, Russia, Macedonia and Turkey, they were the only nations to use a 100% jury vote. So it's worth saying that the French public gave this Israeli entry 6 points, the Macedonian jury gave it 1. This was woeful. It's one of the weakest songs we've arguably ever had in the history of the Eurovision Song Contest. Ping Pong was a pop quartet consisting of Roy, Guy, Achal and Yifat. It appears as though they didn't make music at all after the competition, although there was a documentary in 2006. This is essentially bubblegum pop. I think that's the best way to describe it. I actually have a video here which is just a recap of all the songs, so I'm just going to listen to this. I mean, it's a bouncy number, colourful lighting. I should say the stage was circular. And then behind the artists, we had banks of lights. We had a huge TV screen to one side and the pair of lips logo in the colours of the country that was performing on the other side. And yeah, also dangling things, dangling rings and circles of lights from the ceiling as well. But yes, this Israeli entry, they're bouncing around on the spot. You've got 4 females on stage, 2 guys. One has his shirt unbuttoned. He's wearing jeans. The other one is in a pair of white trousers and a green top. You've got the females, one of whom is in a red skirt. Another one's in a blue dress. You've got this pattern of stereos behind them. It's all over the place, this song. I mean, the vocals aren't great. The dance moves are very, very simplistic. Now, I believe at one point, although it's not in this recap, it says here that the band originally entered the contest as a joke. At the end of the performance, the group waved small flags of both Israel and Syria. The waving of the flag of Syria led to the performance being disendorsed by the Israeli Broadcasting Authority after the group had refused to withdraw the use of the flag for the final. There was controversy as well because they sang the song's title Be Happy in place of the Hebrew title, despite saying that they would sing the song entirely in Hebrew. I believe as well that there was a same-sex kiss on stage. The song also went to the top of the Israeli charts. The song describes an Israeli woman on a kibbutz who appears to be depressed, having a torrid affair with a Damascus man who appears in the video in a traditional headdress or keffiyeh. Apologies. It makes reference to wars and natural disasters such as floods and blah blah blah. There's also a reference to a cucumber. I mean, I don't know how much of this is accurate. It's been so long since I listened to the song in full. I'm very aware that this video will be hours long if I don't shut up. All I will say is that the Israeli entry opening the 2000 contest was a poor move. The running order was done randomly back then, but my word, not off to a good start. Song 2, the Netherlands. This was a bit better. Linda Wagenmakers with No Goodbyes. 13th place, 40 points, a high mark of 8 from Belgium and Israel. This song began with Linda wearing this huge coat that resembled a tent. It was black and white. It starts off very slow, and then this pulsating beat comes in, dancers emerge from underneath her, and she's wearing a sort of shredded silvery dress. It's a decent pop song, nothing amazing, but it's fairly memorable. Let me have a look in the recap video. Yeah. Da 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 da. No Goodbye. I mean, it's really not a bad song at all, and she's having a blast on stage, as are the dancers. Linda, for the record, is 45 now. Her career, well, it's been very successful. She's been in loads of musicals in the Netherlands, although it appears that she has not released an album for some time. It's also worth saying that the Netherlands, on the day of the contest, it was also the, I'm going to have to type this in, it was the Enschede fireworks disaster, which was essentially a explosion at a fireworks depot, and it just so happened that that was on the day of the 2000 contest, which is why I believe when it came to the voting the Netherlands used a sole jury vote. So there we go, thought I'd mention that. Song 3, the UK, Nikki French, Don't Play That Song Again, and I'm not sure many people have. This finished 16th with 28 points. At the time, the worst UK result in the history of the Eurovision Song Contest, I believe. This received a high mark of 6 from Turkey and Malta. Now, Nikki French, I don't believe that she's doing a whole lot these days. She's released a whole bunch of albums. She's had a few hits in the UK, including a cover of Total Eclipse of the Heart, which was originally by Bonnie Tyler, who would later do Eurovision herself. But yes, it's worth saying that Nikki has done some theatre work, and she is a good supporter of the Eurovision Song Contest. She usually pops up on TV here in Britain every May. She's also, you know, taken part in various Eurovision-related events. She's 56 now, according to this. The problem with this particular British entry is that it is ultra bland. There is nothing remotely remarkable about it whatsoever. I'm looking at the clip here. Blue and lilac lighting. Nikki is in a long coat and a purple outfit. Couple of backing singers. It just feels very dated, even for 2000. Plus, it was early in the running order. It was never going to do terribly well, unfortunately, and I don't really have anything else to add. Song 4, on the other hand, you could also say not that memorable, but there was just a little bit more to this. A little extra something to make it stand out from the field. It was Estonia. Now, it's worth saying that Estonia only debuted in the early 1990s, but they were on a very good run of form coming into the Stockholm competition, and of course they would win a year later. This was Inez with Once in a Lifetime. I believe she was 17 at the time, but she sings about being 16 in the song. Don't quote me on that, she might well have been 16. Anyway, she's 40. She has tried to represent Estonia since. Her career has been very good indeed. She's won a whole bunch of awards. This is a very charming song. In terms of staging, very simple indeed. I'm taking a look here. There was green lighting. It's worth saying Tanel Padar, who would win a year later, one of the backing singers. I believe they were dating at the time. Yeah. This is just a very, very pleasant song. Inez, I think she was very nervous, but it doesn't really show that much, I don't think. She was in a sort of green vest, a green felt hat. Very nice, very nice. And on these movable screens behind the musicians, what looks to be plants for Estonia's performance. But on the whole, very nice. I'm very aware I'm rambling. This is not good. Moving on to song 5, France. Now, I really don't think this is that bad, but clearly very few people thought it was worthy of voting for at all. This was Sofia Mestari with On aura le ciel, which I believe means we'll have the sky. Yes, indeed. Now, Sofia Mestari doesn't seem to have really done much for a long time. Her last album, I assume it's her last album, was in 2008. She was born in 1980. And this song finished 23rd with 5 points, a high mark of 3 from Russia. This is very low key. Very low key indeed. Sofia, all in red. There's a drummer, 3 backing musicians, and then somebody pretending to play the guitar. Flowers again here, roses, for this particular performance. She's got quite a deep voice. That doesn't bother me much. It's very nice, very pleasant, but it doesn't go anywhere. You know, it's the sort of thing that you can listen to, you can enjoy it for what it is, but then, as the songs continue to pour in throughout the contest, you forget about this particular entry. Nothing else to say about it. Moving on. Song number 6. And again, this is a very low-key song that I actually quite like. It's Romania. This is Taxi with The Moon, and it finished 17th with 25 points, a high mark of 12 from the Macedonian jury. Now, Taxi are a band. They've been going since 1993. It's rock meets contemporary pop, and yeah, many, many albums, and a lot of success in their homeland, it would appear. This song, The Moon, is an acoustic ditty. The lead singer, wearing glasses, black outfit, a very, very unique voice. Yeah, very static, but also very sweetly executed. I have nothing more to say. Also some pipes, creating a nice little melody there. Moving on. Got to move on. Song 7, I believe this is. Is it song 7? I've lost the plot. Absolutely lost the plot. It is song 7. Malta, dearie me. Claudette Patch, who is now a politician, with Desire. This song did have some Maltese lyrics, but it's predominantly in English, and it finished 8th with 73 points, a high mark of 8 from Russia, Cyprus, and Croatia, and Macedonia. So there you go. This song is very, very up-tempo. It's very fun, and Claudette sang the hell out of it, quite frankly. She's in a blue dress, a couple of backing musicians. There's this orange glow around the stage. Great vocals, one of the best vocalists that year. Very summery, working the camera well. Deserved to finish in 8th place with 73 points. I'm just going to check here. Claudette, yes, she's a former TV presenter and singer, but for several years she's been a Member of Parliament, born in 1968. So there you go. Moving on. Ugh. This is a messy video, do bear with me. It's Norway next. Another very colourful performance this. Purple outfits. Charmed. 3 women with My Heart Goes Boom. And this finished 11th with 57 points, receiving a high mark of 10 from Turkey, of all places. Charmed consisted of Odrun, Lisa and Hannah. After Eurovision, they went their separate ways. and I believe they're still sort of involved in the music industry a little bit. I don't really know. This was pretty well done. Simple choreography, okay vocals, the crowd totally unmoved by this. I mean, I know it's only 21 years ago, but now you would have everybody waving flags and standing up and cheering them along. But back in 2000, everybody's thinking, this is fine. Yeah, not bad. It's just remarkable. But yes, this Norwegian entry, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Then we have Russia, who finished second, and that was their best result to date at the time. This was Alsu, who I believe was 16 at the time, and then of course several years later she would co-host the grand final in Moscow. This is solo, decent pop effort, second place, 155 points, several 12 points from Romania, Malta, Cyprus and Croatia. A blue colour scheme for this one, a smoke machine, two male dancers wearing what appears to be jogging trousers, Alsu wearing a skimpy sort of beige outfit. It is quite catchy, but it does sort of go on a bit, if you see what I mean. Still, second place, I think that's deserved. I don't think the 2000 contest was particularly strong. I mean, the Danish song Thinking Now, it sort of was the clear winner, even though it wasn't one of the favourites at the time. And Russia finishing second, I think that makes sense. Moving on, Song 10, Belgium. This finished last. Nathalie Source with Envie de Vivre, which translates as The Will to Live. This finished 24th, as I said a minute ago, with 2 points. And those 2 points came from Macedonia. Nathalie, it doesn't really say much about her at all here, so there we go. This song, like the UK's entry, very blandly executed, several backing musicians, Nathalie in a sort of beige outfit as well, giving it some gusto, just not enough. Yeah, it's very plain, this particular Belgian entry, dearie me. Gotta move on, Cyprus, Song 11. This was Voice with Nomiza, performed in Greek and Italian. Nomiza means I believed, and it was a group consisting of Christina Argiri and Alexandros Panai, who of course represented Cyprus in 1996 with a cracking song. He's been involved so many times at Eurovision, it's unbelievable. For Cyprus, for Greece, he was part of Helena Paparizou's winning team in 2005. He co-wrote Sofia Patsalidis' junior Eurovision entry several years ago. Anyway, this song finished 21st with 8 points and received a high mark of 4 from Macedonia. This is stirring stuff, very powerful, but at the same time, there's not really much to grip onto here, if you see what I mean. It's not exactly the most catchy song. It's not exactly the most visually arresting song. It's almost as if it just needed another shot of coffee, perhaps, to give it a bit more energy. But yeah, I've never really liked that song, to be honest with you, even though Alexandros Panayou is a really fantastic musician. Then we have Iceland, Song 12, August and Telma with Tell Me. This finished 12th with 45 points and received a high mark of 12 from Denmark. This is quite similar to the Norwegian entry that I've already spoken about. Up-tempo, fun, sweet, harmless fun. Telma is in a pink dress. August is all in white. He's wearing what seems to be some sort of kilt. Very colourful in terms of the lighting. They're swaying about on the stage, having a great time. It's got a reasonably catchy hook. A job well done. Gotta move on. Hang on a minute. August and Telma. Einar August Vithson and Telma Augustdóttir. Yes, indeed. I think they're still going, making music separately. Anyway, Spain, Song 13. Serafin Zubiri. Colgado de un Sueño. 18th place, 18 points. A high mark of 10 from Cyprus. This is, again, very simply done. You've got the movable screens off to one side showing a sky, 4 backing musicians, Serafin, who is a blind musician, behind a piano. He had been at Eurovision in 1992 as well. I want to say that he was the first blind musician in the contest's history, but I could be wrong. Anyway, he was born in 1964 in Pamplona, released a whole bunch of albums. This song is just a bit cheesy. Very similar, it must be said, to his previous Eurovision entry. It just needed to be a bit more upbeat. Yeah, it runs out of steam very quickly, if I recall. Then we have Denmark. I'll talk about that song in just a moment. So let's skip forwards to Germany. Heavens above. Stefan Raab. Wat gaat du da? This finished 5th with 96 points. This was a jokey entry that did well and received 12 points from Spain, from Switzerland, and from Austria. Now, Stefan Raab is big business. He's a TV presenter. He was born in 1966 in Cologne. He's been involved in Eurovision loads of times. He was behind Lena and her success in 2010. He co-hosted the 2011 contest. He was on stage in 1998, I believe. Well, actually, he wrote the song for Germany in 1998, which was also very wacky, it's worth saying. He wrote the song for Germany in 2004. He's been involved a lot, is what I'm trying to say. He's a big, big figure in Germany. This particular entry, all over the place. Wat gaat du da is a derivative of the German expression Was hast du da? What do you have there? This was, like I said a moment ago, all over the place. It was camp. It was crazy. Stefan is just bouncing around the stage in this white and gold outfit. He's got women around him. There's a drummer. At one point the lights go out. Then the women take off their dresses and reveal even skimpier outfits underneath. It's very repetitive, it's very silly, but actually it's really not that bad a song. We've had worse. Take a look at Israel in the same year. Then we have Switzerland, song 16, Jane Bogaert with La Vita Cos'è, performed in Italian. It translates as What is Life? I don't know what Jane is doing these days. Probably still involved in music, I really don't know. I'll take a look after filming. Anyway, this song finished 20th with 14 points and received a high mark of 6 from the Netherlands. This is yet another Eurovision 2000 entry that is ultra bland, in my personal opinion. Switzerland much better than this, usually in the contest. Purple dress, backing musicians, not a whole lot going on. Nice to hear Italian, but I find it a little bit grating. Then we have Croatia, like Cyprus, stirring stuff. This was Goran Karan with Kad Zaspu Andeli. This finished 9th with 70 points. It translates as When Angels Fall Asleep. And Goran, very powerful voice. He's known for his powerful and refined tenor voice. He specialises in songs influenced by Dalmatian folk music. He's 57 now. He's actually from Belgrade. Released a whole bunch of albums. Now, I want to say that this is a tiny bit overrated, 9th place, but it's okay. I mean, he's got a very impressive voice, and he's very much the focus of this song. His backing musicians and what have you, they're a little bit out of the way for this one. In a lot of the other performances before this and after, they're a bit more front and centre. Yeah, long hair, black outfit, lovely stuff. Moving on, Sweden, the host nation, song 18, Roger Pontare with When Spirits Are Calling My Name, Narvinda Narviskar Mitnam, 7th place, 88 points, great stuff. We need Sweden to send something like this these days. Will they? I highly doubt it. A high mark of 12 from Turkey. Wow, okay. Roger, been involved in Melfest a bunch of times. The most recent was, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. He's 69 now, and he is of Sami descent. This is a very traditional song. He's in quite a traditional outfit. There's a smoke machine, flames around the stage. This has such a good beat, such energy to it. You can really get swept up in this. Very nice vocals. So different from everything else. So stand out, so unique. Absolutely deserved to finish that high up. Tremendous. Then we have Macedonia. This is another bubblegum pop type entry. XXL, 100% Teljubam, 100% I love you 100%. This was a girl group. This song finished 15th with 29 points, which is fairly generous. A high mark of 10 from Romania and from Croatia. XXL, the group members were Maria Nikolova, indeed, Ivona Shamtovska, Rosica Nikolovska, and Verica Karanfilovska. Don't know what they're doing now. This performance was very much on the cheesy side. The choreography, very simple. Skimpy outfits. I mean, disco ball patterns on the movable screens. Vocals a little bit slipshod, but there we are. Then we've got Finland. This is, would you believe it, another low-key song that I actually quite enjoy. This is Nina Åström with A Little Bit. This deserved more points. 18th place, 18 points, and received a high mark of 7 from Estonia, next door neighbours of course. Nina Åström is a Christian singer-songwriter and evangelist, still going strong. Released many, many singles and albums over the years, including Landscape of My Soul and Give Me Jesus. So there we go. Blue lighting for this one. Very relaxing. We've got a violinist. Nina herself is in this sort of brown jacket. Yeah. I mean, it's not memorable, but it's pleasant to listen to. Well worth checking out. Then we have Latvia. What a debut this is. Absolutely tremendous. Latvia, rarely better. Brainstorm, My Star. 3rd place, 136 points. I mean, Latvia, wow. Can you imagine them finishing 3rd these days? My word. 12 points from various nations. I won't go through them. Brainstorm have been going for years. They're still going strong. 1989 they started. Renas Kalpers, the lead singer, would co-host in 2003 in Riga. He also co-hosted the Eurovision 50th anniversary special in Copenhagen. Brainstorm surely are Latvia's biggest band. Their last album, and About the Boy Who Plays the Tin Drum, was released in 2018. Absolutely fantastic. This song is so quirky but so good. Green lighting predominantly. We've got a guitarist in a Manchester United shirt. Reynars himself is in this sort of flowery shirt. Sort of floppy hair. Really engaging with the camera and the audience. Very unique voice. I use the word charming again because it really is. What a tremendous debut. 3rd place as well. Absolutely smashing stuff. Seriously, if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's a wonderful song. 4 songs left. Turkey next, song 22. Pinar Ayhan and the SOS with Yorgunum Anla, which translates as I'm Weary. Pinar Ayhan was born in 1972. Seems as though she released an album about 9 years ago. I don't really know much else. But anyway, this song finished 10th with 59 points, receiving 12 from the Netherlands and from France. Red lighting for this one, a bit of a smoke machine. 2 people dancing. Pinar herself is in a white dress. Quite folky and traditional. Guy with a ponytail playing the guitar. The song is in Turkish, I should say. Not much movement. Not bad, not brilliant. Then we have Ireland, doing their same old thing as they did throughout the 1990s. Eamon Toll, Millennium of Love, performed in English, 6th place, 92 points, a high mark of 10 from the UK, no surprise there, and Malta. Candles on the movable screen for this one. Eamon, long hair. I mean, lyrically, even for 2000, we'd heard this before from Ireland, but he sang it with conviction. Quite uplifting. Guy with a blue electric guitar there. Eamon, I don't know how old he is, but he was born in Castleblayney, and he released an album the year he was in the contest. Apparently. Moving on. Austria! What a great song to close the show. The Rounder Girls with All To You. This is a sort of retro, soulful song. Very nicely done. The Rounder Girls consisted of Teeny, Kim and Lynn, who were from Vienna, New York and London. Lynn passed away in 2013 at the age of 53. They also toured after the contest. I think they're still going, the remaining two members. This finished 14th with 34 points, receiving a high mark of 8 from Spain, I believe that is. Yes, very nicely done. Very nicely done. Pink lighting, various dancing silhouettes on the movable screens, black outfits. It's a toe-tapping number. Very nicely done. Just needed, again, a little extra something perhaps to really gain more votes. But on the whole, very nicely done. That leaves Denmark. What can we say about this that hasn't already been said? The Olsen brothers, Fly on the Wings of Love. It says here, the song was written by Jørgen Olsen, the oldest brother. On the day of their victory, Jørgen Olsen was just over the age of 50, making him the oldest artist yet to win the contest. The combined ages of the two of them make them the oldest aged act to ever win the contest. This was nowhere in the betting odds, pre-Eurovision, and yet it won with 195 points, various 12 points, including from the UK, although Croatia and Macedonia gave this song nothing at all. Fly on the Wings of Love is a Eurovision classic. It's as simple as that. It is charming, it is sweet, it is very simply executed. It's two guys with guitars having a great time. Everybody in the crowd waving glow sticks, great vocals. It's got a great melody. At one point he uses a vocoder, which I know some countries were unhappy with, but there we are. And this is a song that I feel doesn't run out of steam. It's just the right length. Ah, it's wonderful. And then, of course, a year later, we'd have another male duo win. What are the chances of that? Lovely stuff. And the clapping, of course, in the chorus as well. I don't really have much else to say. It went to number 1 in Denmark, 160 in the UK. There was a sort of... is that the one I'm thinking of? I think so. Yes, XTM, a much more clubby remix of the song. Went to number 8 in the UK and number 1 in Ireland in 2003. So there you are. That was song 14 on the night, and it absolutely deserved to win. There we are. That's the 2000 contest. I really don't have much else to say about it. The spokespersons, Mary Miriam, who was the most recent winner for France, she gave out the points for them. Evelyn Samuel, the 1999 Estonian representative, gave out the points for Estonia. Blah, blah, blah. Terry Wogan did the commentary for the UK. Of course. No commentator for Israel. There we are. I'm really, really rambling now. In fact, I don't think this video has turned out terribly well. But maybe you enjoyed it. In which case, leave a like, share it, leave a comment. Let me know your favourites from the 2000 contest. Whatever it is greatly appreciated. As I said in my most recent video, I'm actually on holiday soon. And it's likely that on this upcoming Monday, as I'm recording this video that you're watching now, it is likely that the host city announcement for the 2022 contest will be made. Will it be Turin, Bologna, Milan? Who knows? I will try and film a video if I can. If not, keep an eye on my other social media pages because I'm sure I'll post something there. And then when I'm back from my holiday, I will film a video like this and talk about the host city a little bit. And look forward to next year's competition. There we are. I'm going to shut up now because my voice is actually starting to irritate me and my throat is hurting a bit as well. Yes, until next time, I will be back with more Eurovision content all the way through until next year's competition, of course, when who knows, maybe I'll be in Italy for it. That would be nice. Until next time, at last I'm finishing this video. Take care of yourselves. Apologies if the quality wasn't that great. And bye for now.